If you live in Odessa, there could be some new trees and some new plants coming to the city as they plan on making some changes to their land ordinance. News West 9's Jason Freund was at a city meeting where those involved with the changes laying out their plan. They're their shareholders in the public. Jason, what did you learn?
Alex, these changes to the ordinance are being made because as a city grows, that legal lingo gets a bit more complicated. So this will hopefully simplify things for the city to implement its new land ordinance. The hope is that by simplifying the ordinance, it will smooth everything out and make Odessa better in the process.
We want to find ways to improve it, make it easier for the developers, for the city to interpret the landscape ordinance, bring in more native and drought-resistant plants and things like that. So making it an easier process for everyone, and also once we bring things in, looking at maintenance and ways that we can keep the city looking great.
And that's why Herrera and her team were brought in. They bring the experience and tools necessary to make these changes to a landscaping ordinance.
Things are more complicated sometimes than they need to be. We bring in tools like plant checklists and plant lists and things like that that really break down the process. It makes it easier for the city, like I said, to implement, and along with those developers and landscapers coming in.
A community survey was put out earlier in the year to see what people wanted out of this. What they got was people who wanted different types of grass, plants, and trees, along with where they wanted those to be placed.
It's going to be more of those commercial areas, example like downtowns or corridors, so it's also going to be city spaces and stuff like that, but it's going to be more predominantly commercial. Whenever you go into new commercial strips or industrial areas and things like that, having more trees in the parking lots and things like that.
But we all know the climate out here can be temperamental, so they need to pick the right plants and the right trees to match the climate.
Just because we're doesn't mean that we can only have cactus and things like that. There are trees, there are shrubs that are drought resistant, don't require a lot of water, so they're easier to maintain and also keep your water bills low and things like that.
Maintaining the new landscaping is going to be essential as well. The current plan is to work with the city while listening to residents and business owners about who is not maintaining the landscaping and why, to hopefully keep the landscaping well maintained and beautiful for the long haul.
We're investing a lot into these properties, making them look good. We want it to be a long-term, not just whenever we first put these things in. So I think it's longevity of community pride and just beautification of our city. And we all have West Texas pride, and we love Odessa and our city, and we want to make it better.
After today's feedback, Herrera and her team will begin drafting up the new ordinance. That's going to take about a month. When that's done, they'll give it to their staff for review, and then it's off to the Odessa City Council and Planning and Zoning Commission for final approval.